What's up, pretty gang? It's your favorite nail tech Peaches back with another video, and today I'm about to give y'all some cheat codes, some tips and tricks on how to get a really nice French on a very short nail, because it is not, well, me personally, I don't use the same exact technique as I use on longer lengths. Okay, so first things first, don't forget my description has my Amazon storefront and all my coupon codes and links. Follow me on social media, Nailsbyprettyface. I'm in Sacramento, California, if you're in the surrounding area and want to book an appointment. Of course, subscribe, all of that, so you don't miss no videos. I just want to point out, most of my views are from viewers who are actually not subscribed, okay? I'm on the road to 10K. We're trying to get to 10K. All right, so this color is actually called Pinky Pink LA Nail Reserve. I do have a coupon code for them. You guys, most of the polish that I use for nail art is going to be LA Nail Reserve, with the exception of using a few Madame Glam colors here and there. I have coupon codes for both in the description if you're interested. This Mia Secret brush is a number 06 gel brush. I use it for cleanup. Actually, this brush is kind of like, what do they call that? The tip of it is kind of like, you know, it's like it's messed up. It's like everything is like like I don't know how to explain it. Okay, that's my verbal explanation. So I went ahead and swapped it out for one of my newer ones. You guys can see the difference. Like, the first brush was like Bart Simpson haircut brush. The second one was very smooth and not a hair out of place. So this brush actually is a Beetles gel liner brush. They come in a pack. It's linked in my Amazon storefront. I like to use the blue ones. So I'm going to recommend you probably use a slightly shorter brush than maybe you normally do with French, because this is a very small nail. And the way I do, what I start with, my very first piece of advice, line the sides of the nail first, okay? The reason why I say this is because typically on a longer nail, we're going to be worrying about, okay, let's get the smile line first, right? On a shorter nail, we want to just make sure we have the space for a smile line. So we're gonna line the sides first, going just up and down as far up as you want the French, and then we're gonna cut the color in the corners. Okay, so as you can see, as I'm coloring in the corners, it's already making its own French tip by itself. The thing with short nails is, because there's less space, a lot of people either, in my opinion, do too deep of a French tip line, which means like it's this deep, like barely any color at the tip, or it's a little bit too shallow, meaning the nail bed area looks like a very circular, like, you know, it doesn't look elongated. So to prevent that, I have found that going down the sides first helps me immediately find a center after I color in the corners, and then you won't worry about getting a perfect smile line, because everything will pretty much come together and you'll just have to make adjustments. Now, I will suggest making that initial line, like the outline, thick, because if you don't put it enough on the actual surface of the nail, you guys know I used natural tips, curved tips for you guys who don't know. So the sides need to get painted, but also the top surface, from what we're seeing, if you don't do it thick enough, you're not going to be able to see that line going all the way up, and it's going to look like the bulk of your French tip is only at the bottom, if that makes sense. It will not look even. Me personally, I like a even thickness from, see here down, make it thick enough so that way you can see it on the actual surface of the nail. And I like that to be almost equal thickness with what's going on with the corners and such. So you can see, boom, boom, we're going to make 2 lines down, and then immediately we're going to start cutting the corners. Now, after you do your first one, of course, it's always easier for the rest. We know this because that's how French tips work. You get into your zone and you just make it do what it do. Now, once again, once we start cutting the corners, that is where we're going to find our center. So instead of trying to draw the entire smile line and get that perfect and then color what's left at the tip, we're basically coloring in the tip, and we're just adjusting what needs to be adjusted afterwards. Again, these nails are so short that sometimes it can be awkward to come up with a perfect smile line and find your center. Now, you see me, I always flip the hands back and forth anytime I do French, because again, you see how I'm thickening up the sides? We want that to come to a nice slope on the sides, right? You can see me, I'm thickening up the side, because we don't want it to be too much polish up at the top near the cuticle area, but we want it to come from like a nice thickness. All right, because when we look at it, we just don't want that top line to be disappearing. Okay, so you can see I'm just adjusting what needs to be adjusted. I'm using very small strokes, especially because this is a shorter nail. Now you're gonna want to use a polish that does not take too much layers. Okay, typically, me personally, I will use only one layer of polish, but these are very pigmented, so that's kind of a bonus. So you guys can see I'm working on the sides, being very detailed. We want it to be a nice thickness on the sides once again, and we're going to bring it on down into a nice curve, so that way the tips increase in thickness and we have a similar thickness smack in the middle of the nail. So personally, this is really good for those of you who are more advanced in French tips and you're just looking for kind of a shortcut way, or for those who are even beginners looking for a different method, because I understand for some of us drawing a French line, smile line, can be very difficult to just sit there and draw it. Okay, typically my normal method is going to be to draw the smile line and clean it up and then color what else needs to be colored. Okay, now this particular method would kind of not work on a longer nail, because honestly it would take you a minute and a half to get a nice smile line just working at the corners and working up. So this is really something that kind of only works on like mini length, shorties length. I do this a lot on overlays, and that's what made me start using this method on just regular short nails as well, because with overlays, people who have like little to no actual free edge, their nails would be super mini, like even shorter than this. And I realized, damn, I don't have any space to really draw a smile line. So I started doing this, and I've just carried that habit with me, you know what I'm saying? So I'm really hoping that even though this is a shorter video, that the information I provided is going to help those of you, because honestly everything is trial and error. This might work for some of you, might not, but I know everybody's looking to better their own way, so maybe this could help towards that, or maybe it can just make more sense as to maybe you're already doing this and you're wondering like, oh, does this actually help, does it actually matter? Like, hey, you never know. Yeah, this video is pretty short. This is the last finger I'm showing. I do have some new content, thank goodness. You guys, for the whole month of May and a good portion of June, everybody is pretty much getting basic sets or French tips, or you know, stuff that's just like, okay, I have a lot of that on my channel, which is why my recording has kind of slowed down. But I do have a couple of things pre-recorded that I'll be releasing over the next couple of days. I seem to have a freestyle coming up on Tuesday actually, so that will be fun. You guys, I have not done a real freestyle in forever, ever. And you know what, I'm looking to do some story times for you guys, because man, there has been some interesting stuff that has happened over these last couple of months. So just let me know down below what you guys are interested in hearing and seeing. And I have some more nail art coming up for you guys, so we're gonna get it together for July. I know it feels like I've been not as consistent with my time and my presence on YouTube, but I promise you guys, I love you guys. Look, everything is okay on my end. We just looking for some actual content, so we're not just posting about plain colored sets all damn day every day. All right, so once again, just go down the sides like a parallel pair of lines, color in your corners, and just adjust your smile line as needed. All right, so hopefully this helps you guys. Once again, here is the final result. Okay, and as always, I will see you guys in the next video.